AFTV, good win for Arsenal in the end. Few hairy moments in there, but again, the same old two that were doing it for us last season did it again. Lacazette and Aubameyang, and a good 3 points.
It is, and we said before the season started, when you look at the fixtures, these were the first two games we had to win going into Liverpool and Spurs. We couldn't afford to slip up, and we don't have to play beautiful football every single time. Sometimes it's going to be a bit of a scrap, and against teams like Burnley it will be a scrap. And I feel a lot of those players, especially the new ones, stood up and were counted today. Ceballos, he was man of the match for me, superb.
It's a really difficult game if you're a new player coming from abroad to come into, because Burnley, I don't think they're going to run up into a lot of teams like that in France, where literally I was saying to a guy next to me, do you remember Burnley putting 4 or 5 passes together? Everything was aerial. Everything. So did you think that the defence today stood up well to that?
I thought they did, to be quite honest with you. It was, my issue today was out wide, left back and right back. I feel that that's where the problem areas are, and they've always been a problem area, but we have addressed those areas. We just got to wait for them to come back from injury. So we need to kind of manage that situation. But I felt that, you look at the goal, it was a lucky deflection that went into the path of Barnes. And I felt overall, given the way Burnley play, we dealt with it, and I was quite happy. So,
what did you make of the obviously a sort of new style of playing? They changed that rule now this season, where you can have your defenders in the box, and literally we did that for every single play. Tried to play the ball out every single time. Was you worried about that? I mean, do we have to do it every single time?
They know better than us. They do it in training, and you just got to trust the process. It's not good for your heart. There was one in the first half where Luiz literally crossed across the line, and you're kind of like, wow. But listen, that's the way we've got to play out. We've got to get used to it, and I don't think we really put ourselves in too much trouble today. You know, there are a few times where I think just clear your lines, but it will come. It will come. There's a lot of new players in there as well. Like I said, Ceballos, I think he was my man of the match. He's very reminiscent to Santi Cazorla. I think the way he can just literally drop a shoulder and he'll turn everyone. And I thought Pepe, when he come on as well, he was direct, he was quick. And again, he was twisting people up left, right and centre, and he's going to only get better. You look at the ball that he put in for Aubameyang when he had that chance. They're the kind of little bits that you see and you think, yeah, they're only going to get stronger. And Aubameyang, Lacazette, listen, they just carry on where they left off, man. We've got one of the best strike forces in world football. Forget the Premier League, in world football. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's going to get us out of jail more times than not this season.
And obviously big test for it next week up against Liverpool, but going into there with a bit of confidence now, 6 points.
Well, what I want to see from the Liverpool game next week is a different kind of mentality. How many times have we walked out of Anfield and we've been slapped 4 or 5 goals? And it's not been the last couple of years, it's been going back from 6, 7, 8 years ago. 4-0 down at half time the other year, do you remember that one? That was, I want to see a better performance, a solid performance, a more mature performance. And if we, you know, walk out of Anfield and we've lost, for example, next week, but we've really stood up to be counted, you can walk away from there. Although disappointed, you could take positives from that. But if we walk out of Anfield next week and we've been slapped up again, it's the same old, and you've got to start questioning where the mentality lies within the squad. So that's what next week brings. I'm not worried about Spurs here. I honestly ain't, because since we've moved to the Emirates, they beat us once in the Premier League here. So Spurs at home is not a problem. You know, it'd be a tough game, don't get me wrong, but it's never been the real problem. Going away from home to teams like Liverpool is where the issues have always been. So that will be our big test. But 2 games in, 6 points, players are starting to bed in now. And, you know, I look at it, I think Torreira needs to come back in. I felt that we missed Xhaka in parts today because of the way that we moved from the back real quick. I felt it was very flat and sideways. Joe Willock, he's going to only benefit from getting 90 minutes. I think that although he didn't play well in the first half, Reece Nelson will learn a lot from today. And he's still a young lad that's going to grow and grow. But overall, yeah, we've got to be happy, man. And then I can enjoy my weekend, man, and watch the rest of the football. So it's all good.